today I am doing my pregnancy vlog for the week. I am currently 32 weeks pregnant and I am very quickly approaching the end of my pregnancy, so it is very exciting. Some symptoms and cravings that I experienced this week I would say are pretty similar to last week's. I have a lot more achiness just kind of through my back and my hips. It's making it a little bit more difficult to walk for long periods of time. It's really just getting hard to do anything for any long periods of time. As far as cravings go, I think that I would say they're pretty consistent. I actually, I would say that they're all pretty the same, but just some have gotten sort of more intensified than others. I've really been into like a ton of fruit this last week. I think just with the change of the weather and it's just a lot nicer outside and it's getting warmer finally where we live, and so I've really just been gravitating towards a lot of fresh fruit. Grapes, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, pears, bananas, pretty much anything, you name it, and I have been loving it. I guess that's been a good craving that I've been having. I still have my cereal every day or twice a day. I think that's pretty much it. And as far as things that I have sort of been like having to avoid, there hasn't really been, like I haven't really had anything major this entire pregnancy that I've been sort of like revolted by. There's been some other pregnancies where I couldn't even stand the smell of like tuna. It just so happens that my husband loves tuna, and so he'd be making like tuna sandwiches like constantly, and like I felt like the smell would just like hover in the house for days, and it would like make me nauseous. But this time around I haven't really had that much of an aversion to really any specific food, so I guess that's been good. The other thing that I have been having a lot of this week is Braxton Hicks contractions, and I'm sure a lot of you know what that is, but basically like not everyone necessarily gets them, but a lot of times before... Okay, that's my husband's alarm going off. Just wait till that finishes. Okay, but for those of you who might not be familiar with it, basically in the weeks leading up to your labor, you may or may not have Braxton Hicks contractions, and they're basically like practice contractions. They're usually just a little uncomfortable, but it kind of just preps your body for what's coming up. So yeah, I've gotten them every pregnancy at different times. Like usually it's near the end of your pregnancy, but I've gotten them at different times. But especially this week I've really been noticing like I'm getting them a lot, and they're not like severe, or like I don't have to like, you know, stop what I'm doing or anything like that, but I can definitely feel like the tightening, and you know, they probably last a couple of seconds and then they're gone. Yeah, so that's like kind of like nerve-wracking, because I don't know, it's just like making the whole thing seem real, you know, like that I'm really coming to the end of the pregnancy. My skin has definitely cleared up. It's not 100%, my skin's never 100%, but it's basically cleared up to, I guess, what I'm used to, what's good for me. Now in the last couple of weeks, actually, it's cleared up quite a bit. I mean, I have like a zit pop up like once in a blue moon, but that's nothing new. I would say for 3/4 of my pregnancy, I've had horrible skin. But in general, I just find like when I'm putting on my makeup and stuff, I have a lot less stuff to cover. And well, pimple wise, now I'm just trying to cover the under eye circles that I have due to lack of sleep. As far as sleep goes this week, it has been horrible. I think I mentioned in my last couple of weeks that it has slowly been declining, and this week was probably the worst. I just can't get comfortable. I don't know, like it's like I'm exhausted, but I just cannot sleep. I'm tired throughout the day, and then I try to go to bed fairly early, thinking I'm gonna get like a better sleep or like more sleep, and then I end up staying up until like 1 in the morning. I'm trying to read, I'm trying to listen to music, and I'm trying to like watch TV, whatever I can do to try to help me sleep. Nothing is working. I have a million pillows in the bed. I'm like going to pee in the middle of the night a million times as well. It's just like, that has probably been like the biggest sort of symptom, and I have a feeling that it's probably just going to continue to get worse as the weeks go on. So yeah, that's not fun. So I announced that we found out we were having a girl, and we got confirmed that it was a girl. So as of now, we are still hopefully having a girl. So as far as like measurements and baby growth, I actually have a doctor's appointment. My next doctor's appointment is not until next week. So I don't have any like specific updates as far as that goes, but the last ultrasound I had, which was last week I think it was, the baby was growing well. I think, what did they say the baby is the size of now? A squash? But anyway, the baby weighs just over between 3 and 4 pounds right now, which is like perfect size. They did all the sort of, you know, like body measurements and stuff when I had the ultrasound, and said that everything looks good and that the baby is sort of like exactly to date. So at that point I was 31 weeks, so the baby was measuring exactly that. I'm not sure how much weight I have gained since my last appointment. I guess I'll find out next week. So maybe I can mention that in next week's. So the baby is still super active. She is definitely making up for previous weeks in the pregnancy when I said that she was just kind of like hanging out and chilling in my stomach. She's still nonstop, all day, all night. It's weird for me to not feel her than to feel her, because she rarely like doesn't move. So that's good though, you know, it's a good sign, and she's happy and healthy and active, and all is great there. One of the main complaints that I've probably had this week and a little bit of last week is heartburn. I think I mentioned that last week. This week it's been twice as bad as well. I feel like this week has just been kind of a bad week for symptoms, because it's not so much that I'm having more heartburn, it's just the severity of it has just shot through the roof. Like a lot of times I get it and I don't even take anything for it. It's bearable and it's manageable and whatever. But I've been getting it like so badly, and the worst is when I get it just before bed, because it's like one more thing that doesn't help in the whole sleeping issue. Yeah, it's probably like the worst I've ever had it, and I can't really pinpoint it to anything specific like food wise or drink wise. It's just one of those things that I kind of have to suck up for the rest of the pregnancy. But the interesting thing is like how like you can have heartburn until the very end of your pregnancy, and like the minute the baby comes out, it's like completely gone. There goes the alarm again. Okay, so we are 99% sure that we have picked a baby name. We still are kind of going back and forth between a couple of names, but we keep gravitating towards one more so than any other names. And again, not to be like, you know, kind of toying with you, but we always like to announce that when baby is actually born. So we pretty much divulge every other piece of information beforehand, but we like don't even tell family or friends or our kids or anything like that. Okay, so now I will show you my belly shot at 32 weeks. All right, so here is a front shot of my belly, 32 weeks, pregnant. Here is a side shot. Here it is. It's getting big. And here is the other side as well. And I still have an outie, which will hopefully go back in when baby is born. That was my 32-week belly shot. That's all for this week. Please be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. All the links will be down below in the info bar, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.